So now we come to the big question. What is an advanced persistent threat? This is a pretty big question, so let's break it down a bit. First, the advanced in APT. The term advanced can mean a lot of things at the same time in the context of an APT. APTs are generally very sophisticated. While your garden variety attacker might hit you with a recent exploit from an exploit database, these attackers are more likely to be the ones that land up in the news for having masterminded attacks on governments, hospitals, financial institutions. You get the picture. They have the capability to write their own exploits and will even go as far as to chain together multiple 0 days into a single attack just to ensure success. While your normal attacker will mostly try to attack you over the internet, preferring total anonymity, these attackers follow no such rule. They'll utilize multiple attack vectors. They'll social engineer your employees, dumpster dive, and even break into your office. Remember, there are no rules here. There's one thing that you should be aware of. It's that there's still a lot of discussion regarding the term APT. What does the advanced really mean? Some people claim that it refers to the way that attackers creatively daisy chain resources, exploits, and techniques in order to stay hidden. Others go with the more obvious explanation, how they use sophisticated attack techniques and exploits. How you choose to define this is ultimately up to you, but it's just something that you want to keep in mind. Personally, I prefer thinking about them as somewhere in between those two definitions. To achieve the level of success that an APT requires, you need both advanced methods and the creativity to find holes that you can abuse. Next, let's take a look at the word persistent. What does this mean? Does it refer to how they stay hidden for long periods? What do you think? Take a second to come up with your own definition. As you've probably guessed, when using the term persistent to describe a threat, what we really mean is an attacker who will keep trying until he succeeds. Think about trying to file through a lock with a steel ruler. It's possible, but wow, your hands hurt and it takes time. Patience is the key. Determined attackers will keep hitting your organization's systems silently until they eventually succeed. Because in the end, people manage and administer these networks, and we all know that people eventually make mistakes. You've likely seen how normal attackers function. Once they're inside your network, they make lots of noise and they start looking for any sort of data that they can get, and sometimes they get caught by honeypots. APTs are nothing like this. These sort of attackers are the ones who are able to distinguish between short-term gains and long-term ones. We'll touch upon this point a little more in a few minutes. Finally, let's look at the most obvious term here, threat. Attackers behind APTs will be more focused, as SecureWorks puts it, whereas a commodity threat actor attempts to gain advantage by conducting broad-based attacks a mile wide and an inch deep against a large number of targets. A targeted or advanced threat actor focuses on a specific organization and wages a sustained effort using multiple tools to achieve their goals. These attackers are the types who will spend long periods of time hiding until they're able to achieve their aims. They generally have a motive and are orchestrated by a large organization. The attacks on RSA back in 2011 and Stuxnet are both excellent examples. We'll examine these attacks in detail in the next module, but here we have a more specific aim. We want to know what we're looking for in order to fingerprint an APT. So without wasting any time, let's look at the main characteristics of an advanced persistent threat.